Self-love is the new sexy, the podcast devoted to helping you overcome life's most painful and stubborn challenges so you can feel great, have more energy, and live stress-free every day. To reach your full potential, simply work with the powerful spiritual principles that are readily accessible to everyone. It's easier than you think, and on today's show, W. Mark Watts is going to show you how starting with self-love is the key to joyously and harmoniously making that happen.
Hey everybody, this is W. Mark Watts. I want to say hello and welcome and thank you to everyone for hanging out with me for another episode of Self-Love is the New Sexy. And today's podcast episode is going to be kind of short and brief, but super powerful nonetheless, because it's all about knowing that it's cool to be you, knowing that it's okay to be you, knowing that it's most important that you be you. So what do I mean by that? What I mean by that is it's important that you really exemplify, well, first of all, understand and accept who you are. So you just have to be good with who you are, all of the good and all of the quirks. And then you've got to be willing to show that, to share that in your everyday life with whomever you come in contact with, because that's the end game. One part of it's to understand and accept. The other part is to share. Now, I wish someone had told me that years and years ago. And matter of fact, I wish someone had told me this over and over again, because oftentimes we're, again, going back to the programming that we receive, starting from a very early age, we tend to think, we tend to believe, and we start to feel that all of who we are is not great, is not acceptable, is not beautiful, is not right. All of those things. And over time, when you start to get up in age, those beliefs, those thoughts become hardened. They become ingrained, and they become your go-to beliefs. And then so your life starts to mimic, or your life mimics your beliefs. And it creates fear, and it, creates procrastination, and it just creates, you questioning yourself. And all those things that really prohibit you from loving yourself fully and playing all out. So I'll give you some examples in my life of, really accepting who I am and loving that and sharing that. It was very interesting because if you've listened to any of my other episodes, you might have heard me mention that I have some spiritual advisors that I've worked with for years, and they've changed over time. But I have this one in particular one that told me that, I liked expensive things. I liked extravagant things. I liked, clothing, and I liked flashy stuff. Yeah, that's the best way to say it is. She said, I like flashy, expensive things. And at the time, I didn't own any flashy, expensive things. And I didn't ever really think that I liked those things. However, fast forward to my late 40s, I started to realize that I no longer liked the mundane striped shirts, solid colors, the safe sneakers and the safe shoes, just the basic, I call them grandfather looking shoes, the comfortable shoes. That doesn't mean that expensive things can't be comfortable, because they do need to be comfortable too. But I pretty much kept it in safe, fair lanes with respect to my clothing, with respect to some of my thought processes, many of the ways I live my life. Very straight-laced, very middle of the road, very non-confrontational, less personal also. However, I started to feel differently. I started to see bright colors. I started to see different patterns. I started to recognize that I just felt different. I didn't want to do those same things. I wanted to change it up a little bit. And so over time, I started doing that. And as I started to recognize that I was moving into the brighter colors, was moving into different types of sneakers, different looks. I was thinking about different shoes that looked different, and definitely clothing that looked different, and even how I wanted to look different, even though, nothing too crazy, but just I started to really think about, okay, if I wanted to change my look, how do I really want to look? How do I really want my body to look? All those things started to become top of mind, and I started to make shifts. And even my body started to shift, but that's a whole nother topic. But I started to have different likes and dislikes. And once I made that move and started to get rid of things, and I'm still actually in that process now. I'm still getting, every time I'll come over an article of clothing that maybe I've had for a while, or maybe is out of season, or out of season for several seasons, because, hey, I will admit it, I am one that I will keep clothes, and it's a little easier for men to do, but I will keep clothes for years upon years upon years. And so I started to see things start to pop in my head that, hey, I no longer need that pair of shorts. I no longer need those golf shirts. I no longer need those pants or that sweatshirt. And so I've started, over the last year or two, really to just start discarding, getting rid of those things, because the one way to bring in new things in your life is to get rid of the things that are already there. You've got to make space for it. And the way to make space is just to get rid of stuff. So I started getting rid of my clothing. And then now when I'm out shopping, or when I'm out, period, or when I'm on the internet, I'm actively looking for things, even though I didn't realize it. And so what I'm saying is I've been very good. And I think I've done this in pockets over the years. And I know that I've done it in some of the times when I've been my most happiest and most free, which takes me back to my college days. And when I was around people, like-minded people who were fun and freewheeling and loving, and, around my best friends, it was easier for me to be that guy. And so now, coming full circle, or, life is just a big circle. This is becoming top of mind for me now, is to really open up, be that guy again, do what you want to do, be all of you in the moment, and be willing to share it. So now I'm into the brighter colors, the different patterns. I'm getting rid of all the stripes and all the things that I've had for anything over a year or two. I'm starting to just remove from my wardrobe, in that I'm throwing it away. Unless it's something that's still in really good condition, then I donate those. But the things that are old and really it's time for it to go, I just throw them in the trash. And so now I'm replenishing those. And I have been doing that also for the last several years. Even the furniture that I buy is, more modern, bright. Really bright colors are really top of mind for me, because that's the way I feel. That's what feeds my energy. And that's the space that I'm in. So, I'm really comfortable with that. And I'm more active out in the public now. I'm going back to my old university, and, at games, younger people look at me, and some of them comment on, the shoes that I have on, or the socks that I have on, or just my whole outfit. And so it's very interesting to see much younger people than me now look at what I'm doing, and they comment on it. And so, again, I don't do it for the comments. I do it because that's authentically who I am. That's me. That's my sense of expression. And so as I'm rebuilding or just switching and moving into this space of who I am right now, because again, it could change and it will change over time. But I'm really accepting of all of me right now, all of that, what I'm doing and the way I'm feeling. And I express that openly, and it doesn't matter how people respond or if they say anything or what they think about it. It's that the bottom line is I'm being true to myself, and I'm really living the life that makes me feel good. And that's the key. That's the purpose right there. It's living the life the way that makes you feel good, that gives you peace, because there can be no more self-loving act than understanding who you are, where you are, accepting it and rolling with it every single day. And so I think back, the reason why I did this podcast episode today is because I was thinking back to that advisor who told me that I liked those types of things. And me thinking, nah, that's not me. I know I'm pretty middle of the road. I'm pretty calm. I don't like to, draw outside the lines too much, because that was a space that I was in at the time. Not realizing that that was the invitation. But now I'm fully accepting that invitation. So if it's too straight-laced and has stripes, or I don't want it. I don't want it. I want something different. Not only that, I want more expensive things now. So I'm really spending more money on myself. But I'm working really hard to afford that, because I have a kid who's in college now too that I have to be responsible for as well. So still being responsible, but really loving myself in a way that I haven't loved myself in years, in a very long time. So it's great to really take care of myself and enjoy myself and express myself. Self-expression is a beautiful form of self-love. So as I end this particular episode today, as I always do, I invite you to think about who you really are right now. Where are you in your mental space? Where are you? How do you like to dress? How do you like to talk? How do you like your physical appearance to look? Who do you want to interact with? What time do you want to get up every day? What time do you want to go to sleep every night? What foods do you want to eat? Where do you want to go? What forms of self-expression are top of mind for you? What really turns your lights on? What makes you feel good? What puts you at peace? That's who you are in this moment. So understand that, truly accept that, let that vibrate, let that wash all the way through you, and then share that, be that every day, and allow yourself to share all of you with us every day, because that's the gig. No one else can be you but you. And when you aren't being your full self, then you aren't giving us the opportunity to see all of the beauty of who we are in you. And so we're all mirrors for each other. So the more that you mirror your authenticity, your greatness, your likes, your dislikes, it allows us to look at you and see ourselves, see the things that we like, we dislike, we want to try, we like to look like, we like to talk like, we like to feel like. It gives us the opportunity to see that and gives us additional license to say, hey, I'm going to do that too. So who are you right here in this moment? Are you accepting of it? And are you sharing it with the world? If not, then get out and do it. And if you are, make sure you're doing it to the fullest level and continue to do it. That's all I have for you today. Thanks for hanging out with me. It's a pleasure as always. Hit me up and let me know. Where are you right now? What's your authentic self? What do you want to move into? What do you want to share with the world? Do it. Share it with me. Send me a note wherever you find me on Instagram, Facebook. Send me an email. I want to hear it. It's a conversation between you and I, not just me speaking, not a monologue. I want to connect. I enjoy connecting with you all. You are beautiful, lovely people. So until the next time, stay close. I invite you to be yourself, share it with the world, and I'll talk with you all again real soon. Bye now.
You've been listening to Self-Love is the New Sexy with W. Mark Watts. If you enjoyed today's show, be sure to tell a friend. Also, make sure you never miss an episode by subscribing to our show on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher Radio, or wherever you listen to podcasts.